Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. Oh, this episode is going to be the moment of truth for a lot of things, and I'm a little nervous to get into it. First of all, there's presuming that this is going to be the final episode of this chapter 4. We're going to see if we manage to get Tabitha and Stella back together. I feel like I kind of biffed that by not going to talk to Tabitha at the mines. I just really didn't want her to know that I was going to the clinic. And speaking of the clinic, we have our romance track with Reese, which should be concluding or starting either way now. I think I've met all the requirements for it. But at the same time, I'm nervous because some gnarly stuff is about to happen on the quest for Reese-mancing. You're about to see a side of me that I didn't even know existed until The Quarry, the game The Quarry, came out last year. And I worry that people watching this are going to think less of me when they finish this episode, but I got my justifications in my pocket. I'm all good. Alright. But, hey, great start already. We're in Reese's bed right now. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Hey, I was worried you slipped into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving, and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay? Wait, nothing spooky happened? The mountain didn't collapse on us? No ghosts? No, nothing. You just fell down, twitched a little, and when you seemed stable, I carried you back here. That was a few hours ago. You don't have the kind of muscle mass required for that. But you have a delicate constitution. Wish I'd been awake while you carried me. Oh! I could always put on a repeat performance, if that's the sort of thing you'd like. Does Dr. Kelly know I'm here? No, I snuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. Figured you wouldn't want to come to in the morgue. I had a vision. Like a hallucination? I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just weird little things, like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. These carvings are clearly drilled into some big gas pocket. No. I think the carvings are trying to warn me about something. My family has dark secrets. An old family like yours? I believe it. Hopefully that's all ancient history, though. I wouldn't want something to happen to you. I'd like to get to know you a little better before either of us dies. Alright, I'm not gonna get mad at him for not calling an ambulance. I don't want to leave. I don't want Dr. Kelly to look me over. So I'll just say, so what now? We might be stuck down here for a little bit. The doc is on the warpath up there. I refuse to take my medicine, and she's not happy about it. I'm sure you can understand why. There was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. I've been thinking about what you said at dinner last night, and I don't see any other possibility. It's only been a day since I've stopped taking my pills, and I feel great. I went ahead and blocked my door so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. I don't get why your mom would poison you, though. I don't know. But it's all in here. She never outright says that's what she's doing. And the recipe she came up with to deal with my flare-ups, whatever she thinks those are, involves that weird plant that was on the counter. Those castor beans. You were right, and ricin poisoning matches up with quite a few of my symptoms. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly, or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. Either way, I don't think I ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. I mean, Reese, that's not exactly what happened, but I think that's the metaphor going on here, personally. I think there's a metaphor in all that's about to happen, and there I think you hit the nail on the head. Maybe not the local cops, but cops. Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed a tolerance. But I think the fact that I feel more and more alive by the minute is enough proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. We need to get you out of here. Who knows what she'll do when she finds out what you know? Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. We can figure it out together. Together? I would like that. I like you. It would mean a lot if you wanted me to stay in your life, even once we're both out of this town. And even if it's just to help me get on my feet. Thank you, Diana. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It would obviously take more than a day for ricin poisoning to be out of his system. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. You could always draw me. That's the flirt option. I've read that you get a lot of flirtatious options while watching the movie, but I watched the movie last time, so there's actually something really interesting I wanted to mention that he says while you're watching the movie. He says something about the movie being a horror anthology and how it's these little snippets of horrible things happening and how that reflects on the characters. I don't know what he said exactly, but when he said it, I was like, he's describing this game. I thought that was a really cool moment, but I'm gonna ask him to draw me. You could always draw me. If you're sure you're okay with sitting with a portrait, I'd love to draw you. There's a quality to drawing that's almost like catching memories, as sappy as that probably sounds. But this can be a sort of snapshot of the night my life turned around. It's definitely a memory worth holding on to. I'll get you a chair. He excitedly hurries across the room, pulling up a couple chairs. You can see the difference in his energy now that he hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's more talkative, less slouched, his long limbs no longer perpetually tucked at his sides. May I touch your face? Sure, blush. You blush. Sure. He places a gentle hand on your jaw, tilting your head slightly to the side. Okay. I like you, Reese, but I know there's a reason your nails are like that, but you gotta at least try to cut them. That's my only critique of you as a person. Cut your dang nails. They're nasty. But you're cute, so I don't mind. Alright, he places a gentle hand on your jaw, tilting your head slightly to the side. His hands are warm now. The corpse-like coldness is gone, replaced by a lively heat that stays on your cheek even once he pulls his hand away. Perfect. He pauses for a moment, his eyes locking with yours, a palpable tension filling the room. Let him start drawing. Thanks for doing this. You have no idea how long it's been since I was able to have somebody sit for me. I think it's been since high school, probably. He starts sketching. The scraping of the graphite is quick and controlled, long lines sweeping across the paper. He pauses for a brief moment, glancing away in thought. I'd wanted to draw you since we met yesterday. You have such striking bone structure, it makes for a truly unique face. I hope I can capture it. He glances up at you every couple seconds, the pencil still moving, as he focuses his intense gaze on you. This is so much easier than usual. Sometimes getting the basic forms down can feel like pushing through mud, but this is like breathing. It's just flowing out. He continues scratching out your portrait, the sound of pencil on paper louder and bolder as his strokes gain confidence. I just can't believe I let this go on for so long, that I never questioned her. That I so readily accepted the line she gave me about my years being numbered and my illness being some bizarre mystery genetic thing that no other doctors could solve. I know it's hard to see when you're in the thick of it, but I was just so naive, and who knows what lasting damage she's managed to do to me. You realize it isn't confidence that's deepening the lines on the paper. It's anger, frustration. Maybe I should have took his hand. I feel like that would have been more romantic than this. Alright, we're gonna encourage him. Yes, get angry. You have every right to that anger. You're right, she's taken so much from me. And I'm not out of danger yet either, I'm still down here. The pencil snaps. Oh no, I'm sorry. I must be acting strange. I feel strange. Do my nails look longer to you? There's a knock on the window. Diana, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice, I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around? Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the window. Good luck, freak. That glass is shatterproof. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. What do you mean? Wayne isn't going to hurt you. He hasn't hurt anyone. Yes, he will. He's furious with me. Can't you hear it? But I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. I can protect both of us, Diana. The window shatters. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Oh, he actually broke the dang window. Wow. Leave us alone! In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off and Wayne along with it. Yep, there it is. He's a monster man. And I like that. Moment of truth, guys. Stay. We aren't safe, but I feel strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here, I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the doc. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his smears. Nope, I am not calling Tabitha. Should I follow Reese or wait for him? Best to follow him and see how things play out. You make your way to the door that beckoned you yesterday, all intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there is a monster, preparing to do something unthinkable. You grasp the handle and turn. Duck! Don't shoot! She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel whizzing past your ear. You turn to see a dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out from between his ribs, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're gonna have to try harder than that, you... No, how did you... As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh, says Wayne. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between cracks in the wood. Reese is panic pulling in a mob of furious smears to hold his enemies in place. The artist darts away, but the smears continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway, and Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. Run to a nearby room. You rush out of the main entryway, taking cover in the first room you see. I followed Dr. Kelly before. I think I wanted to keep her safe. Because, like, my goal at that point was just, don't let anyone die. Duke had already died, but I didn't want anyone else to die, and I wanted to protect Dr. Kelly. I don't want to do that anymore. I heard what she had to say in the last playthrough, and I don't think it's good enough. A few seconds pass. Things are quiet. Hey! Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Diana. I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. What, so you can keep poisoning him forever? Christ, is that how this happened? You helped him sleuth that out? Well, good job. Now you get to see why I would choose to give my own son lethal doses of poison every day. If I don't, he turns into a murder machine. Now listen to me. You're in the medical storage room, right? I need you to use the black tape key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled carfentanil. Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Diana, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not going to hurt anybody else. Just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now. Better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. I'm on Reese's side. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I knew I could count on you. You can't be serious. He's gonna try to kill me. I heard Dr. Kelly's piece on this when I was in the safe room with her in my first playthrough. I'll tell you the Cliff Notes version. She was basically immaculate conceptioned by some monster dreams. Wasn't dating anyone human, just found out she was pregnant with Reese. Didn't know how it had happened, but she had a son. She loved being a mom, and then when he hit puberty, he started having these episodes. And here's the thing, I believe him. I don't think he's dangerous. I don't think he ever was, like, a danger to others. I mean, he has the power to really hurt someone, obviously, but I don't think he has the desire to hurt people. And I think that if Dr. Kelly had just told him, explained to him what was happening to him and tried to work through it with him, then everything could have been fine. He could have learned to control it, but she didn't. She poisoned him, made him dependent on her forever, and like, I think there's a metaphor there. I know that there's a reason beyond just, oh, he's getting older and more rebellious, and I want to control him. Like, in-game, there's a reason more than that, but I think that outside of the game, in a meta sense, it's a metaphor for parents who do just that, who see their children getting older and decide that they can't have that. They want the small child that they had in their child's infancy. They want someone who's dependent on them. They want someone who isn't uncontrollable. Like any teenager, parents are always afraid that their teenagers are going to do something heinous, but very few of them really do. And I think that's the metaphor here. And I think that here, what Reese is going to do is justified. He's been pushed too far. That's my take on it, personally. You're allowed to disagree and find what is about to happen horrifying. But, yeah. That's my thought on the matter. You did it first. I'm just following your example, Doc. I'm doing everyone a favor, really. If she had no trouble doing this to her own son, who else might she decide needs to be treated without their knowledge? Enough. Reese cries out in pain. Oh, what the hell did you do to my shoulder? I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. I'm not getting the tranquilizers. I'm just gonna go to the safe room. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the massive paint sealing it shut. Hurry, I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, although one of the little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. Okay, I guess we're gonna have the chance to talk to her anyway. Let's talk, Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide. How did he not know what he was? I have been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages, so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He is an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. Why? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. Ooh. Ooh, here's the, Oh, I'm starting to see this as a, metaphor for neurodivergence a little bit, almost. Not seeing people with mental illness as their own people, and because it's clearly not an illness. He says he feels great, but he's different, so he needs to be controlled with quote-unquote medication. It started when he was around 15. I've been giving him increasingly high doses of Klonopin, but his body kept adapting and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious, and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it. And I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. Who approached you and what did they say? Dr. Kelly gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman. But screw it. I might die tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. It was... What? And that's all I have to say about that. Oh, what was that? I don't remember that happening. I mean, obviously it was Sybil. We found the castor beans in her tea room. So obviously it was her, but I don't know why that was blocked out. I guess I'll ask all these questions. When did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder, had him checked out at a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument, and he changed right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now, just a couple inches and some facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. I was scared, he could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off or maybe a hallucination. But the second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure that this was something beyond my realm of expertise. What is he? At first I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'll be fascinated to know what happens to him or how his buddy does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. How do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number one. But, symptom or cause? Dr. Kelly. Why does he want to murder you? Is it because he's a monster, or is it because you've been poisoning him? It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. But every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine if this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot-tall monster with a million teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. I can fix him. Well, I'm not going to say that. That doesn't mean he's dangerous. I mean, you are the biggest threat to him. Don't preach to me. Sure, right now I'm the focus of his ire, but who's to say he's not just going to find a new target once I'm out of the picture? I know what he's capable of, so it's my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? You have it all. You have no idea how relieved I am to finally say all this shit out loud. What is this room? Old X-ray room, lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote-controlled locks. Glad it could finally come in handy. What's the game plan, both short and long term? Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. So you're just gonna lock him away again? Yeah, it's either that or he dies. God knows I don't want that to be the case. But you gotta work with what you've been given, and what I've been given is an ethical dilemma with no good outcomes. Just have to decide which is the lesser evil. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to you. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Well, I didn't get the tranquilizers, Doc. So, Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Oh, I love the little motion on the smears, the little bits of animation. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers, this is our shot. But you didn't take the tranquilizers, did you? Come on, what's the holdup? You stumble back into the safe room, away from the open doorway and Dr. Kelly. Oh my god. You didn't get them, did you? She lets out a strangled laugh. Reese pushes his now massive form into the safe room, staring down at his mother. Okay, I don't know if I want to watch. You close your eyes. There's a loud scream, followed by a crunch and a pop. Then comes the loud splash of organs hitting the ground. You hear another round of crunching and tearing, and then silence. Yeah. I can do with it in concept, but I didn't want to see the visuals. I'm sure you can understand. It must be over by now. You open your eyes. Sorry you had to be here for that. Matricide, it's finally over. Tip, dialogue options marked romance will start a romantic arc with the character you're talking to, and will lock you out of romantic arcs with other characters. No, I can say all these awful things to him, but no. You carefully pick your way across the room, trying your best to avoid the fresh blood splattered across the floor, and kneel next to Reese. You can see a sadness in his eyes, staring into yours from his inhuman face, viscera still dripping from his maw. You lean in and wrap your arms around him. It takes him a moment to react, seemingly shocked at your touch, but his arms fold around you, his wide palms pressing you gently to him, holding you against his bony chest. His shoulders shake in your grip. You realize he's crying. He breaks away. Diana, I'm sorry you had to be here for this. But thank you. Thank you for understanding me. I need to get out of here, go someplace where there aren't any memories, but I'll see you soon. Monster Lover 2. Start Reese's romance. That's the achievement I got. I don't know why 2, but I am a monster lover. Yes. Guilty as charged. And I support children of abusive households metaphorically breaking free. I don't support literal matricide, but in real life. But again, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. My opinion is that the true horror here is the way Dr. Kelly treated her son, and that was a triumphant moment, all things considered. But I won't go into my whole diatribe on that again. Alright. And then he breaks out of your embrace and stumbles out of the safe room, his footsteps getting faster and faster as he runs off into his new life. Shell-shocked, you stumble out of the clinic and into the night air. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day, crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream, and now that it's over, you realize how little of it meshes with your understanding of the world. It's time to go home. But before you can get far, you're interrupted by the sound of panting and the telltale jingling of dog tags. Oh, it's the Home Militia. It's the militia. They've poured out of the woods to stand before you on the road. You were looking for Gretchen, weren't you? We found her and her person. They're by the side of the road a little ways through the woods. They're both fine, but the human wouldn't leave when we tried to make her, and Gretchen insisted on sticking by her side, so we'll have to take you to them. Hopefully you can use your people words to get them to go someplace safe. The woods are crawling with those awful creatures. It's not safe anymore, not even for a human. You are very, very good dogs. Lead the way. Yes, we are good dogs. Hear that, Scraps? I'm not in it for the accolades, Daisy. I just do it to help those who need it. You let the dogs lead you into the wilderness, following on their heels as they take you to Stella's hideaway. Okay, so last time I did it, it was just Gretchen who came and found me, not having spoken to me, but I talked to the militia in their little congress with Jimmy, and they helped me find Stella. Fun. All right. Okay. Can I get Tabitha to come out here? Is that a possibility? Please. Before long, the trees thin, and you find yourself on a steep hill by a 2-lane road lined on one side by sheer rock. And there, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. And there they are. Keep them safe. Be seeing you, Speaker. You sit on the log beside Stella. Diana? How did you... She looks over her shoulder in confusion. Is that a gang of dogs? I'm so glad my compatriots could be of service. I simply couldn't survive another night without my nice soft bed. Scraps and Daisy formed militia. It's a long story, but they helped me find you. Huh, neat. You should probably know about what happened today. Oh? You relay the events of the evening as best you can. Saying it out loud somehow makes it feel less real, like you're sharing the plot of a horror movie, not something that actually happened to you. Oh my god. I'm just going to go ahead and lock that one away in the void. Let's go. I know that stretch. That's the time to go home stretch. Thank the Lord. I'll be sleeping in my own bed tonight. Thank you, Diana, for talking sense into this girl. Stella scoops Gretchen up in her arms, and the three of you walk back to town in silence. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, no Tabitha reunion, unfortunately. I feel like by not going to the mine to talk to Tabitha, damn it, I messed it up. She gives you a tired wave before retreating into her house. Time for you to get home, too. He appears as if out of nowhere, clothes streaked with what at first looks like blood and gore, but you quickly realize is paint. Evidence of his altercation with Reese. I'll walk you. No way, Jude. I'm walking home by myself. You start walking up the road, Wayne's silhouette quickly fading into the dark of the night. But it's not long before you hear the slow, methodical thud of boots on the road behind you. Turn around and confront him. You turn to confront your pursuer. Why are you so obsessed with me? I care about what happens to you. You can think of me as some kind of guardian angel if that would be helpful, but it's time you accepted that you won't be getting rid of me. Wayne walks just ahead of you in near complete silence. Flirt with Wayne? I'm not gonna do that, because I already got a monster boyfriend. I don't need a second one. Maybe that's what the 2 was for. Monster Romance 1 is Wayne? Why does he get to be 1? Alright, seems like Reese gave you a run for your money. Wayne emits a strange kind of coughing sound. You realize he's laughing. He managed to catch me off guard. Those constricts of his were an interesting little trick, but that's all they were. He won't be so lucky next time. Did you know Reese was like that? Okay. Oops. I knew he was different. How exactly? I wasn't sure. But now I know. I should be able to make quick work of him next time. But I like him. You shouldn't have gotten attached. I don't suspect he's long for this world. Even if I don't put him out of his misery, someone else will, eventually. Why are you following me around? Why not Stella or Kanika or Sybil? Why not Tabitha? Because you're special. But why? Why am I so special? You simply are. Do you not feel the ties that bind us? They are unbreakable. I don't need you looking out for me all the time. Evidence would suggest otherwise. Whether you think you need protecting or not, I'll be there for you. I will always be there for you. You don't need to keep coming up with new topics of conversation to fill the silence. You're tired. It's been a long night. You should rest. Wayne remains silent for the rest of the journey back to the estate. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that old building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you, and you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. He disappears into the underbrush. The estate feels empty, wind howling through its abandoned halls, the very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. Close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese, out in the woods somewhere, blood-stained, free and beautiful. And then you think of nothing. Alright, we got Dr. Doolittle and Of Mice and Men. Alright, please save your game now. I will do that. Alright. Yep, unfortunately, we didn't get Stella and Tabitha together, or at least not yet. Maybe there will be more opportunities for that to happen later. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen in my next playthrough, which I still do plan to do on the channel, because that's going to be my messy, rude playthrough, and I'm going to alienate Tabitha completely, I'm sure, by being messy and annoying and rude and awful. It'll just be a fun time, and I'll make all the worst decisions and let a lot of people die, and it'll be great. But I'm not sure if I'll do that next playthrough immediately. I haven't decided yet. I might do like a short game, like to sandwich with Scarlet Hollow. I've had my eye on Chance of Sinar, which is a translation puzzle game, which should be quick. But at the same time, even though that would be quick, part of me really wants to just jump right back in to Scarlet Hollow and get another playthrough. So, I don't know. I have a few days between when I'm recording this and when it's going to go live. So, I'll probably have decided by then. Yeah, while that's up in the air, though, since we're here, actually, can I show credits? Yeah, I guess these are the credits. Character history. Nothing on Thursday yet. Let's see. Can I show credits at all? Nah, there aren't credits. Unfortunate, but I wanted to just give a round of applause to Black Tabby Games for making something so wonderful. They actually, Black Tabby Games, in the break between episodes 4 and 5 of Scarlet Hollow, just this week, they released another completely new game called Slay the Princess. It's another visual novel horror with strong branching paths and fully voice acted this time. I don't know if I'll end up playing it on the channel ever, but if you like Scarlet Hollow, I do recommend checking it out. So I'll definitely buy it, even if I don't end up playing it, just to support the devs, because I think they do really wonderful work. But for now, that is the end of my first, technically second playthrough of Scarlet Hollow. When Chapter 5 comes out, I will be continuing this one, as well as the second, or in my perspective, third playthrough that I will be doing later. I've already decided I'm going to be romancing Avery, and my traits are going to be powerful build and street smart. And I'm going to choose all the rudest dialogue options and be super annoying to everybody, and everyone's going to hate me. But yeah, stay tuned for that, and then stay tuned for the development of this game. Whenever episode 5 comes out, I will be there with it. And I hope you will be too. Until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Scarlet Hollow.